depends on me. I am entrusted with the gifts of God because I am his son, and I would give his gifts where he intended them to be. I am not a body, I am free. I am still as God created me. So there is this lesson back on 186 says there is one way and only one way to be released from the imprisonment your plan to prove the false is true has brought to you. Accept the plan you did not make instead, and judge not your value to it. If God's voice assures you that salvation needs your part and that the whole depends on you, be sure that it is so. So, salvation of the world depends on you, and you're entrusted with the gifts of God because you are his son, and you would give his gifts where he intended them to be. So I'm not sure what's going to happen in this release, but let's give it a go. Let's let go. Could we let go of the small self the images we have made of ourselves, that we may live and walk in the image he has us be. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. Salvation of the world depends on me. I am entrusted with the gifts of God because I am his son, and I will give his gifts where he intended them to be. And does it seem like too much? Has it ever seemed like too much beyond you? Some of these ideas in the course that salvation of the world depends on you. Okay, God, all right. Yeah, salvation of the world depends on me, sure. Like, have you seen me? Could I really handle this job? Like, you sure you want me for this job? So could you just notice any sense of uh, arrogance that God has not has not given you everything you need to fulfill your function? Like somehow this job isn't for you. Salvation of the world depends on me. Oh, and can you just notice any feeling that comes up for you with this very idea that salvation of the world depends on you? Any fear, any guilt, any pride? What comes up for you? And could you just notice that feeling? What if it was just a feeling that had you doubting that you are entrusted with the gifts of God to fulfill any function he would have you fill? And can you allow that energy to come up? Let it be just a feeling, just for now. And is there anything to fight here? Is there anything wrong with this feeling? Or could you let it be just a feeling? Bring it to light. Just some energy passing through if you let it pass. And could you let it go? Would you let it go? And you don't have to. It's just a choice. When could you let go? Any doubts about your ability to fulfill your function, the salvation of the world? I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. Salvation of the world depends on me. Because I am his son, his daughter, same thing. And whew, this whole, gosh, they keep telling me in this book that I am God's son. Like, he's given me everything he has because I'm created like him. I'm still as God created me. But it sure seemed like I'm this body, and this life sure may have seemed like it's anything other than, living divine inheritance. And so, can you just notice any feelings that stir around this idea that you have been created for the salvation of the world? Any doubt, any fear, any anger, anything could come up here. Could you just let it come up? Any of these feelings that have nothing to do with the fulfilling of your job, your function. And could you just let that feeling be there? When we resist the feelings, we claim they're real and they get stuck. We make them seem real. Could you just let the feeling be there? No need to title it, label it. You can, but again, do we want to make it more real or could it be just a feeling? And could you open up and allow this feeling just to run just for now? Just stay with it, watching it, noticing it. And could you allow this feeling to release? And whether you say yes or no, it can still release. Even if it hasn't all gone right away, would you still release? Allow it release? Just release this feeling. When could you release this energy and walk entrusted with the gifts of God? Maybe, possibly, salvation of the world is your function, and you can do it. You will. Just maybe. And again, there could still be some more energy. That's okay. Could you keep on releasing it? You are not a body. You are free. You are still as God created you. You are entrusted with the gifts of God because you are his son. And would you give his gifts where he intended them to be? Are you sure, God? Are you sure that's my job, my function here? I mean, have you seen this? Have you seen this? You sure? Salvation of the world? I would not have put that on my resume or my job application. And can you just notice any feeling that comes up, any resistance to this idea that actually that's the job, the function you've been given, regardless of the appearances of whatever seemed to happen before? And could you allow that energy, whatever that is? Mind likes to label stuff: fear, guilt, smallness, anything, any resistance to your function being the salvation of the world. And what if it was just a feeling? Just some static, just some energy interfering with your conscious awareness of what you've been given to fulfill your function. Could you let that feeling come up? Could you let it be just a quick static shock instead of fighting it? Could you allow this energy to do what it does? Open up, let it move. Could you just be surrendering this resistance to your function, salvation of the world? Just turning it over, surrendering, giving up this energy, this darkness that seems like resistance to owning, to being in your function, salvation of the world. Could you just continue surrendering it, turning it over, giving it up? Resisting the feeling itself keeps it stuck. Could you just allow it to be surrendered? All these thoughts that would affirm smallness and weakness, all this energy behind those thoughts, could you just be surrendering it, turning it over? Could you surrender this feeling to God? This feeling does not actually exist for you. Could you let it go? For you have been entrusted with the gifts of God, and you are not a body. You are free. You are still as God created you. You are His Son. Would you take His gifts where He intended them to go to be? Salvation of the world depends on you. And is there any lingering denial or doubt, or even refusal of this idea that you've been entrusted with the gifts of God for the salvation of the world, which depends on you? And that's okay. Could you just notice maybe it's just a feeling behind all these thoughts of claiming weakness, powerlessness, smallness, any of this denial energy, refusal energy, resistance to having the gifts of God, being entrusted with them? Could you just let that energy start to unravel rather than fighting it? Could you ignore the thoughts that would stop the unraveling and just let this feeling unravel? Could you let it unravel some more? Just a feeling behind the denial of the gifts and the power that you've been given. Just let that energy unravel, dissipate. Could you let it go? Would you let it go? It's just a choice. You're never going to be forced. Does love force anything? Or does love power everything? Like your decision to let go of denying, refusing, resisting your function, letting go. You are not a body, you are free, for you are still as God created you. Salvation of the world depends on you. Did you know we're depending on you? This whole world depends on you. And could you accept that you've been entrusted with the gifts to fulfill that function of salvation of the world? Could you permit that possibility? Just could you allow that the function you're here to be is the salvation of the world, and that you've been given everything and will be given everything to give away for that function, for the salvation of the world? Even if you don't know how, even if you don't know when and where and to whom you're giving these away to, could you just allow that all that will be in perfect timing shown to you? And could you just accept your function? The salvation of the world depends on you. And it's okay if there's more resistance, refusal, denial. Could you keep letting that go and turn to Him for guidance that's surely given to you? Well done releasing. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm so excited that you're here for our salvation. Thank you.